Hello and welcome to N.CAST. This is our E3 special. Here's your host, William Hart, and
James Fish.
now, James. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think the best way to start any E3 special is with a funny story about how my rabbit escaped yesterday.
And like that, you lost me. Continue.
Okay, so basically, how my cat rabbit hutch is set up is I have like a little hutch, and then there's a run that I have it attached to the front of it, and then I open the door so he can run around in the day. And what the fucker did is the run is literally just four metal panels fixed together, and he bashed one of the side panels out of place, and had run out and round. And when I went up there to put him back in his hutch, to when it was getting night, towards dark, I found him stood like 2 feet away from the hutch, eating the grass at the top of the garden. I managed to get him back because what I did was filled up a bowl of food, put it near him. He ran over to the food, and while he was eating the food, I grabbed him and quickly put him back in the hutch.
Ambush! It's a trap!
But yeah, I think that's the best way to start any E3 special.
Right, I don't know how this is comparable to E3 at all, but yeah. I mean, I was kind of hoping the story would go along the lines of the rabbit broke out and you found him playing the new PS4 games or something.
I mean, he was doing that as well, but we were out of the house when that happened.
Oh, how did you know it happened then?
Because the rabbit somehow had his save profile on my...
Your story is flawed, Lawrence.
Okay. Right. Back to what you were really here to discuss. Caterpillars.
Okay, shut up. Right, firstly, there will be a change day. We will not keep going off subject like we normally do. I mean, there may be a few times,
we probably will, so
we'll just limit...
false hope.
No, we'll promise to try and limit it to at least 5 off-subject moments.
Okay, so what is E3? I think that's the most important question for the viewers who only listen to it through for anime and stuff like that. So
yeah, go ahead.
So E3 is basically the world's largest technically video game convention, but it also covers many other things. It stands for the Electronic Entertainment Expo. It's huge. It happens once a year, and it's where most of the major companies announce their really cool shit coming out.
Yeah, and as you can guess, all nerds, when they hear about E3 coming up, they instantly fangasm and prepare their bank accounts for spending loads of money on their favourite products.
Except you don't, because for some reason you ignore E3. Even though you're part of a podcast that features video games, and I feel you really should pay more attention.
I'm a unique man. Pay attention, Will. You will learn loads from this unique man.
Okay.
You have not got to test the Oculus Rift. I have.
Dude, you don't have a PS4. I do.
Yeah, that's because you have money and parents who give you money. Your parents who give you money.
Okay. So, first of all, I was going to talk about some things that kind of happened after E3, but they're still pretty important in the industry. Okay, so, interesting thing I found out, Wii U sales are up 90% from May of last year.
You know, after the whole YouTube incident, I thought everyone would kind of just left them for dead.
Well, here's the hilarious thing. Now they're up 90% in sales.
Is it Microsoft losing?
Nintendo and Sony are actually equal in the gaming market, whereas Microsoft are slowly slipping further and further behind.
This is it's the fall of Microsoft. Microsoft are now the new Nintendo. They'll soon be making Master Chief Halo games followed up by Call of Duty games to replace each other as it goes along.
Yeah, Wii U sales are up 90% from May of last year, which is pretty impressive.
I don't see how though, but then again, the Wii U was always a good console, it's just a lack of good games on it. Yeah, I mean, the only good game I knew of was, what was it called? That zombie game, but, everyone loved that.
Apparently there's a lot of good games for the Wii U now.
Are they coming out? Yeah, because the only good game I heard of before was that zombie one, which everyone loved, but they said it's too short, because once you got used to it, it's pretty much easy.
Yeah, apparently a lot of better games are coming out for the Wii U now, and, Microsoft screwed themselves up so bad.
I find that funny on the adverts on TV. Sony, few adverts, all of them centered on games. Nintendo, very few adverts, all centered on games. Microsoft, here's our television function. Here's a celebrity.
We have a funny article.
We will explain that later, but their adverts consist of celebrities saying, and look at this TV function, I can watch football while playing this game, and I just died.
Also, I actually have a list here of the best-selling games of May, and the first two I actually have figures for how much they sold. So the best-selling game of May
Do I need to
was
guess?
Watch Dogs,
Yeah, what
which
was that?
sold 4 million units.
Oh god, wow.
Yeah. The second best-selling game was Mario Kart 8, which actually only sold 1.2 million units.
Pretty good for them though, because on Mario Kart 8, and
Yeah.
normally after the third edition of anything, it starts going down.
Okay, so do you want me to actually go through the entire list of top 10 selling games, or do you think they just need to know the first couple?
Let's go for the first 5, I think, because these
Okay.
last 5 don't seem like much, except,
So, the third best selling game, I don't have figures for the rest of them, was NBL 14.
MLB
MLB
14.
14, yeah.
The fourth best game was Wolfenstein New Order.
Which looks fucking
It does.
amazing.
It does.
Actually, do you want to know why it looks so good?
What?
Because you know that the publisher is ZeniMax. ZeniMax have developed the best fucking tactic for developing video games ever. Because what they did, like, you know how they all started getting big companies like Bethesda and id to start making games for them?
Yeah.
Well, what they do is they don't just say, okay, Bethesda, develop what you want, id, develop what you want. They both work on the games together.
And thus, the New World Order is created.
Yeah, they did, like, the best fucking games ever.
Oh, that reminds me of a funny argument I heard when I seen the Wolfenstein advert in Bedminster.
Yeah.
There was this old couple arguing about it because there was Nazis in it, saying it should be banned, and they were yelling in the streets saying it should be banned because of Nazis. Like, yes, because Nazis had superhuman mutants ready to fight for them.
I mean, I definitely
This is totally real.
I definitely remember that part of the game in World War II when Hitler actually came attacking the world on the
Mechanical spider, yeah, I mean, seriously. Yeah, seriously, I can't believe it, but I was just laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
And do I even need to say what the fifth best-selling game was?
Do we really need to? I think we do.
Minecraft.
That game is still going, despite being how old now? It's been out on my Xbox for what? Good 2 years, maybe longer now.
Yeah, it's been on PC
For even longer than that.
Yeah.
And yet, people still love it.
Sorry. Okay, so yeah, that's best-selling games of May, which I thought was an important thing to
Oh, hang on. Top 10 game. The 10th game on there. Am I really seeing this? This is a disappointment. The 10th game is COD Ghosts.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Why? I mean,
To be
hell,
fair, actually, before we say how bad that is, it is only 10. And normally Call of Duty would be much higher on that list.
Yeah, I know, because people don't know good games and bad.
The 9th game should be way higher. Kirby
Triple Deluxe. Yeah, I like how Titanfall really didn't stay that high for very long. Then again, they brought subsequently awesome games out after. It's kind of a poor bugger. Except NDA. How did NDA win?
Albi.
That looks like NDA to me.
Oh, right.
NDA 2K14.
So, right, on to the actual E3 announcements of the podcast. Okay, I think the biggest announcement of E3.
Which everyone will love, and...
Which, yeah, it's...
N.CAST.
Now, I actually first heard about this... I heard rumours about this beginning of the year. But, I thought, wow, it's rumours. I heard rumours that Sony were developing, with the people who made Oculus Rift, a virtual reality helmet for the PS4. In E3 of this year, Sony announced Project Morpheus, which is a virtual reality headset for the PS4.
I like how much advancement virtual reality has made in the past 10 years. I mean, the last virtual reality thing before Oculus Rift was a Nintendo thing, which all you could see was pixels. Yeah. It was dropped as soon as it started causing people to have migraines, and one person got blindness from it. Because it was too brightly coloured, they couldn't handle it, and their eyes just lost it. It was brilliant.
Okay, so Project Morpheus...
I just said it was brilliant, a guy went blind. I'm so sick.
Project Morpheus works with one virtual reality, visor thing.
Which must look
cool.
That
attaches to your head, and it kind of looks cool. It looks about what you always expect it to look like. At this point, it's not going to be as amazing as you expect, but it still looks pretty good.
Well, like Google Smart Glasses.
Yeah.
Google Smart Glasses is totally the best thing ever.
What you need is 2 move controllers, one for each hand.
Yeah.
But actually, interestingly, by using the move controllers rather than, kind of Kinect technology, they actually have a more advanced system than the Kinect.
Oh my
You
god.
can squeeze your hands on the move controllers, and it will register
There's
as
a
you making
fist.
fists.
Oh my
Which
god.
is more than the Kinect could do.
Well, be fair on the Kinect. It was early in its stages, and then they went to Xbox One. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
The Kinect couldn't compete with a TV.
So yeah, Project Morpheus, I still gameplay for it. Like, remembering this is really early development, it's from gameplay development, because it's probably not going to be out for another year or so, and so all the bugs are going to be refined. And it was basically two people playing, and they were in like this little stadium, and they were beating up dummies. Like, yeah, dummies, and firing crossbows, and that was pretty cool. And as they move, like how Oculus Rift works, as they move their head, it changed the camera to look at this entire environment. The actual gameplay trailer was really short and ended with a massive fucking dragon swooping down, landing in front of them and eating them.
Sony, they have to take it one step too far. Those sick
But it was set
buggers.
in a medieval world.
Oh dear. You know, the funny thing is, there's a very good chance I could get to test this in my university.
It's a very good chance that I could own it because I actually have a PS4.
Doesn't matter, I'll get to play before you if I do get to test it. And then I can just talk about it on here and, you know, gloat that even though you have a PS4 and get to buy it sooner or later, I still got to play it first.
So yeah, Project Morpheus.
Same as I got to test run Oculus Rift. That was so fun.
Huge announcement E3. And really, in my mind, it's basically just nuked any chance that Microsoft had of regaining power in this generation.
Oh, you never know. They might gain it next generation, but this one they're pretty much screwed.
Yeah, like they fell so far behind so fast, and then Sony came out of nowhere with, "Hey guys, we have virtual tech," and there is no way Microsoft can catch up at this point.
You know, it's basically if you look on the internet, you'd see Sony with troll face, and you just see Microsoft there crying in the background, going, "Why are you so mean?"
Yeah. Okay, so are we moving on, or you got anything else you want to talk about Project Morpheus?
I think not. Any idea of what kind of games you'd be putting in it so far? Or is it just casual ones like they have on the Oculus Rift right now?
Well, you know, because it's still
simple test run games.
Still really early development, so it's simple
Yeah.
test run games, which is understandable.
Oh
okay,
yeah.
Now for the second biggest announcement.
Now prepare yourself for William's Fangasm. Here we go.
They're remaking Doom.
Yeah, here we go. I was never a fan of Doom, but I can see the appeal behind it.
Have you seen the trailer for the new Doom?
Yes, you told me to watch it.
It's so good.
It does look quite cool, and I was like...
So Doom is...
Exaggeration.
Doom is one of the first-person shooters ever, and is really the game that made the genre what it is.
Yeah.
Like, interestingly, the first-person shooter genre was kind of dying out. Because there have been some pretty bad games, and although Wolfenstein wasn't horrible, it wasn't as well received as people would have liked. And then Doom came along, and not only relaunched the first-person shooter genre, but really pushed forward the survival horror genre as well.
Yeah.
Which are now two of the largest genres of video games.
It's great. Yeah, but be fair to Wolfenstein, there's only so much you can do with Hitler and a giant mechanical spider.
Yeah. So yeah, Doom is a massive in the gaming industry because it has so much.
Plus, we never mentioned Wolfenstein and Doom's old 3D style. Everyone remembers their 3D. You know, the 2D character just turns as you walk around it.
Yeah, like for Doom and Doom and Wolfenstein have some really weird 3D, but it actually, like, for the time, you have to remember that was
brilliant.
Amazing. But it was basically like mock 3D where. It was technically a two-dimensional screen, but you'd have two-dimensional enemies that, you know, could move forward and get smaller and bigger within the screen. And generally, because you never saw, like, round the side of them, you never noticed the sprites were 2D.
Yeah.
You only have to, like, it's only if you manage to get to the side of them that you notice that the pitch and the thing was actually only 2 dimensions.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But, yeah, 3D's much better now, and don't we all love it?
Actually, I prefer 3D.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
You have to be off the goddamn normal path.
The other important thing to remember about this new Doom game, again, it's made by both Bethesda and it's working together.
Oh dear. So yeah,
it's going to be fantastic.
Oh, did I just see that on your list of things to talk about? the best thing I've heard today. Surgeon Simulator coming to PS4.
Surgeon Sim.
Is this going to be on the Project Morpheus visor? I want it to be on the virtual reality visor, blood spraying on your screen. I can't see.
Yeah, Surgeon Sim. Yeah, I was looking through all the big E3 announcements, and I realised that's got to be the biggest. You know?
Yeah, seriously.
Surgeon Simulator,
Doom and
PS4.
Project Morpheus could give screw itself. This is the biggest.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows Surgeon Simulator with top YouTubers like PewDiePie and Markiplier playing it. Fun game where you have to try and operate on a guy called Bob without him dying. Of course.
Always called Bob.
No, he's always called Bob, except the alien.
I thought the name changed.
No, it's Bob, but there's an alien in it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was such a popular game. Other than Ghost Simulator, we're not going there.
Sim is the best.
Are they going to put Ghost Simulator on PS4?
No, they haven't announced it.
That's a damn shame. That would make them indestructible this generation and the next.
Okay, so I don't know whether you're okay with this, but I'm trying to switch it off to PS4 for now and come back to it because there's so many big PlayStation announcements. So
Well, might as well, because it's still Sony, isn't it? Might as well go through the whole thing as it is.
But there was so much Sony, it's ridiculous. Like, we should mention like the other companies.
Right, what other companies are there to talk about, Will?
Okay, well, we got Nintendo's Amiibo.
Amiibo, I think that is.
Amiibo.
Amiibo.
Yeah.
Right, go through that, because I haven't heard of this.
Okay, so it's basically, you know Skylanders and Disney Infinity.
Because they were so popular.
Yes, they were.
I don't see why they ruined Spyro. The bastards ruined Spyro.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, they were stupidly popular.
I don't see why. To kids, maybe. And then
Okay,
again,
so
maybe
basically, they're like, you get little toy figures that you put on like this portal, and it imports the character into the game and plays that character. Amiibo is Nintendo's version of that, and like, when they first announced it, there were like loads of arguments like, oh, this is basically just ripping off Skylanders. But I actually did some research into it, and it doesn't just rip off Skylanders, and the differences are really interesting. For starters, you don't need to buy a separate portal to import the characters. They can import via the Wii U pad, which is, considering how much the portals were, is quite a big leap.
Yeah.
Secondly, there's a chip within the character, so the data not only saves on the console but also into the character. Meaning you can take that character to like any console and import the character, and it would have like the same levels and abilities you've unlocked from this character. Which is really interesting because it allows you to have like characters that level up and develop as you play them more often. So that's pretty cool. And the most important announcement for it is it will be usable with multiple games.
Oh, nice.
So it's not just going to be like, Skylanders, the characters are useful
for one game.
Or, two at max. It's like, it will be usable with Smash Bros. Brawl. It will be usable with Mario Kart 8.
How is it going to work with Mario Kart 8? I don't want to know.
They haven't done it yet, but they're going to make it usable for stuff like Mario Kart 8.
Fair enough.
There are loads of other games which they've announced, which I didn't like that. But basically, you use the character for different games, and the character won't take the abilities from like Smash Bros. And use it in Mario Kart because that'd be ridiculous. But it will still be able to save.
Excuse me while I summon Lucario. Go!
But yeah, that's the most interesting thing about him.
Now they just need to make it so you can use other abilities from other games. Just throw a Pokeball and got Mario in the distance. Fuck you, Mario!
Yeah. So yeah, that was a big Nintendo announcement. Which I think was important.
Fox McCloud just comes under the ship and blows up Peach and Bowser.
I'm gonna be honest, Nintendo is the one I researched the least.
Yeah, but to be fair, Nintendo haven't really been doing much of awesomeness lately, other than rising 90% in the sales above Microsoft.
Okay, let's quickly go back to let's finish.
Back to Sony. So what else we got to talk on here about?
We got Sony TV, Sony Now.
Right, Sony TV. I don't like the sound of this. It sounds a lot like Microsoft TV. Being with
Sony TV, the PlayStation TV is really interesting. It's basically a little box, right?
Uh-huh.
Like a micro console. You attach it into any television, It's only like 99 quid. You attach it into any television in your house, and it allows you to stream your PlayStation 4 to any TV in the house with a tiny little box, which is only £99. Or €99. I don't think they've announced the UK price.
So streaming the PS4, what does that mean? Just streaming
It
random
means-
films and videos?
No,
of
it means you can play PlayStation 4 games on any TV, right? And you only need one console in the house.
Oh wow.
So I could keep my PlayStation 4 in my room, attach the PlayStation TV into the back of our downstairs television, and play my PlayStation 4 games without having to move my console.
That sounds like a pretty good idea. I prefer to have one of those rather than moving all my consoles around all the time.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
Sony TV sounds pretty great, and yeah, it's going to be €99 when it comes out.
Is that PlayStation can now stream PS3 games via PS TV as well?
PlayStation Now, yeah, basically can stream PS3. Like, Now is really confusing, and I need to do a lot more research into it. But I think it's basically allows you to stream PlayStation 3 games, which you rent, and then you rent it through this PlayStation Now system, and you stream it to your through your PS TV.
Yeah.
Which is strange because you have to rent games.
YouTube app has appeared on PS4 in autumn.
Yeah, the YouTube app for PS4 will be introduced in autumn, but it will also be able to have share integration.
Share integration?
Go ahead. You know the share system in PlayStation 4?
No, I haven't actually got one. You know this.
You take it automatically records parts of the game, like 30 seconds, like the last 30 seconds of the game, and then you use the share button, which at the minute just puts it to stuff like, sends it to stuff like Twitch and other things, where your friends can then look at it.
Oh yeah.
And it's they're going to put this YouTube app onto PS4, and when you use the share button, it's going to import the gameplay onto YouTube.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. You know, it's not going to be like, you won't be able to do massive Let's Plays, but you'll be able to record like 30 seconds of gameplay, or I think it's like up to a minute or something.
So I'd be good in competitive standards and just showing off to your mates and stuff, or showing how much you suck to your mates.
Yeah. So, and like, because they've introduced this thing called Share Factory as well now, which is basically an audio editing software that is on your PlayStation 4, so you import your videos that you've recorded onto there, and you can edit them before you send them off to YouTube and Twitch.
Oh, that sounds pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we're moving through this pretty quick.
Well, it's because really there's not much to talk about in the major things, is there? Because those are it's all just quick stuff, and you've got to notice that we don't have to keep blaring over, saying the same words twice like we normally do. Like, and did we go over this? Hey, let's go off subject again. Right. 2 games here I've seen which have been announced, and I've seen the trailers for one of them. Dead Island 2 and Far Cry 4. You might need to talk about Far Cry 4 because I hadn't heard anything about that.
It was more of an announcement. There wasn't much on it. It was just, hey, we're making Far Cry 4.
Yeah, Dead Island 2, though, the trailer's on YouTube if anyone wants to see it. Look, the trailer's pretty funny, but after the first 2 games, I don't really know what to think of it. Because Dead Island 2 is, well, Dead Island Riptide is alright, but had a lot of room for improvement. Dead Island 1, same, but confusing as fucking boring.
So yeah.
So Dead Island 2, I'm not quite sure what to think of, but it could be pretty good. Maybe they make it into more like a comedy game, like, you know, how games have gone recently. When it gets to the 2nd or 3rd game in the series, it seems to be getting funnier and crazier.
Yeah.
Dead Island seems to be doing that from this trailer. I mean, the guy strutting down the street while a bite's on his arm. It's like, why do that? He's just been bitten on the arm. Like, I'm gonna go running. Yay! Zombies behind him, chaos everywhere, just running like, yay.
So, okay. How much do you know about the Far Cry series in general?
Far Cry was never my favourite game. I played 2 and 3. I mean, I played 3. The furthest I got was to the guy randomly getting malaria, or no, 2 I think it was, where the guy randomly got malaria and just collapsed on the floor. I was like, well, this is going weirdly bad.
It's a really weird game where basically, like, none of the games are connected, and you're basically dumped on an island at the beginning of the game and you've got to fight your way up. The most interesting Far Cry game was Far Cry Instinct, where you basically slowly became a monster over time.
Wow.
Yeah, Instinct was a really weird but interesting game.
The furthest I got in 2 was Welcome to the Forest. Couldn't find way out of forest.
Alright.
Proceed to fall off cliff, break all legs, and slap my finger back in place to repair my legs.
You know, that's probably not the best idea. Like falling off cliffs.
I didn't notice it. There was a hedge in front of the cliff. I walked through the hedge, fell off a cliff. And to repair my legs, I snapped my finger back in place. Although the part where I broke my arm and patted a fire out on my left arm for no apparent reason, this is kind of like the game's healing idea might be a bit sketchy.
Yeah. Okay, so another big game announced. I've never really been into the series.
Oh, is that what I think it is? Little Big Planet 3.
I've never really
Oh
been
my
into that
gosh.
series, but it's a big announcement. I can admit that's a big announcement.
I mean, I've only ever played Little Big Planet 1 because I can't find Little Big Planet 2 anywhere.
Little Big Planet 3 has been announced for next year, I think.
Right, for anyone who doesn't know, Little Big Planet was a childlike game where you played as a sack boy. Obviously, you might be able to guess from the name. He's just a humanoid-shaped bag running around the place. Oh boy, you go to different areas in the game. What was it, like different levels of worlds and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Which seemed weird, following different styles. Like one was Oriental, other medieval, one futuristic, and you could spawn in stuff, remove stuff, and run through the game trying to get through it and avoid them. There was no real any enemies, was there? It was just obstacles that could kill you.
The most interesting part about Little Big Planet and why it was so popular is the level creation aspect of it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was like people really like that, and you got some really amazing levels. Like I saw this one one person playing this one level where the person had somehow designed it where if you moved, you died. If you stayed perfectly still, the level automatically took you to the end.
That's pretty
Press
cool.
any button and you die, basically.
Oh dear. That sounds ridiculously insane and boring at the same time, but probably sounds like it looked cool.
Yeah, but yeah, the level was set up so certain things would push you and like make you go up over obstacles. It was a pretty amazing looking level.
Now, one thing about Little Big Planet, there is a 2D game, but it had 3 kind of layers to it, which you'd have to use to go on obstacles. So you'd have to like press up or down to go to the opposite and the other layer, try and get through obstacles and stuff and get to secret areas.
Oh, so it's a 2-dimensional 3D puzzle game.
Pretty much in a way, except it's not 3D at all.
Not
but
like Fez, which is literally a 2-dimensional 3D
puzzle game. We're not going into Fez. Be quiet, boy.
Fez is really cool.
Yeah, but Little Big Planet was always a fun game, but it always has acquired taste because, I mean, I found it funny, but it was a limited thing. Will here doesn't like it at all.
No, I'm not saying I don't like it. I just like I've never really had the opportunity to sit down and play it because I never had Sony consoles.
Same as I'm not a fan of puzzle games, which William hates absolutely.
Puzzle games are amazing.
We're not getting into an argument about this now. If you want to have
How the fuck can you not like puzzle
if you want to have Argue-Cast, we'll save that for later.
They're like the most important genre of game.
And
other
just
than platform.
And to anyone who's watched this before, Psychology Cast and Argue Cast are not real. We will not be doing them.
Yeah, we will.
Fuck's sake. We are not doing Psychology Cast.
Actually, if we were going to have Argue-Cast, I actually have some really interesting topics that we could spend at least half an hour arguing about.
Fine, but at least we research what we're going to argue about first.
Oh,
unless it's something I already know.
Yeah, it will be stuff, like the stuff I have.
Okay, what's something you're going to...
We won't do it now.
No, just give me a test case.
One argument, which would be interesting, is... wait, no, we both agree on that, that's the problem.
What is it?
What would win sci-fi fantasy?
And what's your idea of it?
I would say sci-fi.
But dragons, dude!
But Death Star.
Yeah, you win. Yeah, I'm sorry, sci-fi would win. We have to think our arguments carefully to make sure we don't agree yet they're on the same thing. Okay, that's impossible.
Pokemon's a great argument.
It's shit.
See, we could argue about. We could argue about.
The only good thing about Pokemon is Pikachu because he's so fucking adorable.
Yeah, we have some good topics.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0.
Wait, do you like Zero or not?
No, but that shit was creepy as fuck. Was it creepy and unchild friendly?
I kind of like Zero, but I feel you could easily persuade me not to.
Well, the unchild friendliness of it probably could do that easily.
Okay.
Anyway, we had off subject once. We've got 4 more times until we break our promise. We are getting there, people. I mean, what?
No, going off topic's fine as long as Like, the problem with last time wasn't that we went off topic, it's we went off topic so much that it was incomprehensible.
Blame Charlie for that.
Yeah, like, you know, it's, like, going off topic's fine because it gives us more interesting stuff to talk about. A, lengthens it, and B, makes it more interesting rather than just going on and on about games. But we can't go off topic so much that it becomes incomprehensible.
The point I rewatched the whole video once. The part where we talked about Mind Jack, we went off subject 12 times, repetitively going on to other games and films, and the whole part we meant to talk about Star Wars, we went on to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I tried pushing us back to Star Wars.
Then you realised Lord of the Rings was a better conversation anyway.
Let's just move to Lord of the Rings.
But it was a better conversation anyway.
It wasn't, though.
It was.
Star Wars is Star Wars. Actually, that would be a great argument. I would say
Star Wars or Lord of the
Star
Rings
Wars is much more. Like, not that this Lord of the Rings films are better in terms of development, in terms of like the actual movie, but I could easily argue Star Wars are more important to movies.
That is the point, yeah. Star Wars is important to movies. I mean, without them, most of the stuff we know
Star
today
Wars
wouldn't have
are
existed.
Far more important to movies than Lord of the Rings was.
Yeah, of course, but Lord of the Rings is also important.
It annoyed me when you guys like kept moving to Lord of the Rings because no, we're talking about the importance of the Star Wars universe.
There's only so much we could talk about.
Because I've talked about how like you know the really cool special effects before CGI existed, but you guys were like, no, Lord of the Rings, which had CGI.
Yeah, I'm just gonna point one thing out. If we carried on the way we were going in Star Wars, we ended up doing Jar Jar Binks impressions, and that would have been it.
Used to love you long time.
Ooh, I miss I love you a long time, yeah.
Okay,
Anyway, we've got off subject twice now.
Yeah, okay, we'll save that for an argument cast, but I could argue that.
Yeah, and we'll bring Charlie around for that. I'm pretty sure he's on my side. Unless he becomes a douche and starts bringing up Alien versus Predator just to throw into the argument. Or Aliens.
Oh yeah, but to be fair though, I'm pretty sure Predator wins.
Yeah, obviously.
Like, there's no way Alien can be Predator.
Yeah.
Like, in both terms of actually them fighting each other, and Predator is the better film series.
Oh dear. Just because that's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, it's mostly because I like Predators more than I like Aliens. Because Predators have morals. It's nice to see It's nice to see like a film where the bad guy isn't just like
the psychotic murderer.
The evil alien bad guy isn't just let's destroy the planet. We want a fair, interesting fight. Like there was, like in Predator 2, they refused to kill the pregnant.
Yeah, I remember. I watched that last night. That was pretty cool.
You know, it had, like
and respected the bad guy for killing one of them.
Yeah,
the black guy.
Which is why I really dislike the new Predator film.
Because they're just merciless,
yeah, because
brutal.
they're just merciless predatory beasts, which isn't what the Predators were. They were like
that was Alien. Alien would be predatory beasts, which followed the High Mind and their queen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved Predator more than Alien. I mean, Alien is a brilliant film, but Predator was just the idea of them in general.
Mm.
Anyway, that's 3 times off subject. Back to E3.
No, technically, I'm counting that as one massive off topic. But back to E3.
Right, if this is on YouTube, you'll get a off subject alert. If this is on our podcasting site we've just started, what was it again called again, Will? Podomatic. Then you'll just hear us blathering on, and you might get pissed. Yeah.
Okay.
Right, back to subject.
So,
I think I've seen something I'm not gonna like. Tetris Ultimate Slots.
It's basically a 4-player Tetris game for PS Vita.
Yeah.
So weird here.
I mean, they did an idea like that on PS2 with the 2-player Tetris. Didn't go well. I mean, I bought that game for my mother because she loves Tetris so much. She looked at it, played it for 10 minutes, and threw the disc out the window.
Oh.
Because it was shit. Not because it's difficult, because it was shit. She completed it in 10 minutes.
Wait, what version of Tetris was she playing on?
It was the PS2 one, which is why she got it.
So it wasn't original Tetris?
No, she got original Tetris.
No way Tetris was...
That's why she threw out the window, because the original Tetris took her hours to complete.
Yeah, the original Tetris was ridiculous. Like, when you got to, like, the difficulty curve from stage 8 to stage 9 was ridiculous.
Yeah, but everyone knows Tetris. It's a popular, famous game which has Russian music. Made by the Russians with Russian music, which has recently been stolen by N.CAST 2, might I add. Which turned into heavy metal Kick-Ass Tetris theme, but you know, whatever.
I haven't seen Kick-Ass 2.
Pretty good film, weird as fuck. Oh yeah. Right, I think it's time to
Do you really want to do that now, or do you want to save that for like the end? Because
what else we got to talk about? Let's go over this now.
Combat to talk about, and we have the Microsoft article, which is going to be so fun.
Right, this might be the best idea then to wait for those parts, save it till the end.
Okay.
Right, Mortal Kombat X, or 10 if you want to be a blimmin' nerdy retard.
I don't think it is 10 though.
No, it is not technically 10, I don't
so
think.
it's just Mortal Kombat X, because it's not the 10th.
We will research this and we'll find out if it's a 10th game or not.
1, 2, 3.
Then there was the few spin-offs on PS2.
Yeah, but are we counting the spin-offs?
If it's the spin-offs included, it might be 10.
Mm.
Or more, I don't know. We'll research it and find out later and tell them in another episode. But Mortal Kombat 10, or
Now,
X.
Did you ever... You played Mortal Kombat, the remake, right?
Of course.
Now, Mortal Kombat X basically takes that and puts graphics
So awesome.
Like,
the trailer.
The X-ray graphics for Mortal Kombat X look fucking realistic.
Basically, the trailer for Mortal Kombat X was done, it said in the caption, with new game graphics. So the graphics was near to it. The trailer was done, Sub-Zero versus Scorpion, as is the famous combat pair. The rivals, the burning...
Of course Scorpion wins though.
The demon whose family was killed by this blimmin' evil ice-throwing ninja.
No, he wasn't. I don't think Scorpion...
Somebody was killed.
Sub-Zero is meant to be evil. I think Scorpion is more evil, and Sub-Zero was mostly ridding the world of...
No, because if you remember, it was him who made him evil.
I don't know.
Because he became a demon afterwards.
They're both as evil as each other.
Yeah, but Scorpion has an angsty backstory. He has reason.
It was just evil people fighting evil people, and Sub-Zero won.
Oh yeah, show me Sub-Zero's evil, sad angsty backstory, and I'll agree with you. I got Scorpions quite quickly in Mortal Kombat. Well,
that's because they were showing his, though.
Scorpion has a reason.
Like, they didn't show Sub-Zero's history, they only showed Scorpion's history.
He showed me what it was. He was like a bloodthirsty murderer who killed women and children. Anyway, back to it. The trailer did the common Mortal Kombat style fighting for it.
Actually,
the 2D facing their side, watching them kick each other around.
One thing they did slightly differently is the camera didn't just look at it in 2D, it kind of looked at it from behind us.
And a little bit up as well.
Which I
could be quite
cool. I
cool.
know if that was just what they did for the trailer.
No, or actual game.
Because if that was actual gameplay, that would be really interesting. Because the types of moves that were
could be
available,
increased massively.
Yeah, by having like the camera at slightly different places. You know, still having that you're stuck to a vertical line, but you have more freedom with the camera.
And another thing I noticed in the trailer, which I'm hoping is real, environmental weaponry, such as the part in the trailer where Sub-Zero breaks a branch off, freezes it, and then beats Scorpion with it over the head several times.
Like, the problem is, as cool as that trailer looked, we really don't know how much of it
is going to be in the game.
Going to be part of the game. If
they do it like the trailer shows, that game is going to be one of the best fighting games ever. If it isn't, then it could be the massive disappointment I'm going to expect it to be until then.
Yeah.
I keep my standards low. It prevents me from being disappointed. William knows that too well, don't you, William?
That's how I look at life. If you're always expecting the worst, you can never be surprised.
Well, no. If you can be
never
surprised.
Be upset.
You can be surprised if you get something good.
Okay, so let's move on to the Microsoft article.
Right, what's the Microsoft article we got here? Oh, right, yeah. Right. Hang on, put this on pause so we can bring it up.
Okay, so basically this article is talks about Microsoft basically changing their strategy behind the Xbox One. And it has quotes from what's his face? Phil Spencer, who's basically the current leader of Microsoft, the Xbox.
And currently, he seems to be the only one who's capable of even getting close to saving Xbox this generation, if at all.
I don't think it's possible.
No, he's got a lot to work with. They fucked up miserably. But here's how the article starts. Microsoft's 90-minute E3 2014 show was all about games, how things have changed. Of course, hinted to the fact that last time it was constantly Connect TV.
Yeah.
Which disappointed people so much.
Remember in May last year when the Microsoft unveiled the Xbox One, the press conference in Redmond focused on TV, and more TV. Which, is very... even back then, when we looked at it, we were like, okay, so where was video games?
Yeah,
Like,
and as you'd expect, reaction from gamers and developers was, wait, what did you just do?
it was
Why?
positive.
Yeah, but let's not read the article out here. Let's just go over the general outline of it.
Yeah.
Because if they want to read the article, they can find it on the internet.
Basically, it was well received. But as I said, like even back then, I remember saying, well, that was all about TV. Like like even before like Sony came out, it was
Microsoft was
very
looking
obvious
down.
Microsoft was looking a little bad.
Yeah, and then Sony stepped up, grins on his face, like the child who just got the candies, like, and we've won this year.
Well, also, I would like to point out that Sony's best tactics in the video game industry have always been based off revenge.
Yeah.
Always revenge. Like, let's look at Sony's history. So, first of all, Sony gets screwed over by Nintendo. Like, massively fucked over by Nintendo.
Yeah, and then to return to this, when Nintendo released, and when, what was it they did to get revenge on Nintendo? I can't remember now.
They basically just announced the PS1, which, like, that didn't cost Nintendo, but like it really put pressure on Nintendo because they'd only been competing with Sega and Sega were looking bad. Then suddenly this PS1 comes out, which basically is equal to their console, which is really something.
Yeah, I think it's to be fair, the best test case of Sony revenge was against Sega. Sega and Sony worked together for a while.
No,
Sega dropped off.
They weren't trying to get revenge on certain Sega. It was always focused on pissing off Nintendo.
Yeah, but the Dreamcast came out at the same time the PS1 did. Sony knew this.
Yeah.
So did the Dreamcast,
But
which...
actually, the Dreamcast, like I found out more recently, that the Dreamcast, the reason Sega dropped out is they could have afforded to continue in the industry, but they mostly dropped out because they saw that Microsoft were about to enter and were like, fuck this shit, we're out.
Yeah, basically Sony's push just made them go, yeah, Microsoft said we don't have a chance, let's leave.
Yeah.
But Sega always had Sony always had something against Sega and Nintendo.
But yeah, Sony have always been based on revenge. And like, even with this new generation, the implication is, hey, Microsoft, you know how you basically fucked us last generation? Hi!
It's basically like Die Hard, where the guy jumps in going yippee-ki-yay motherfucker and proceeds to gun down all people who pissed him off.
This entire generation has been about sticking it in Microsoft. Because if you watched their E3 conference last year, there were like an hour and a half of them being like, hey, look how great the PlayStation 4 is, we're also... Then the last half an hour was
by the way, let's look at Microsoft's page.
literally them taking the piss out of Microsoft.
Hey guys, TV.
Yeah, it was just so fun. And like, I remember all those piss take adverts as well, which was, this is how you share a PlayStation 4 game. And a guy walks up to his friend, hands him his game,
Walks out.
walks up.
Yeah, basically, taking the mickey. Microsoft, game sharing, no longer possible. Second-hand games, you bought second-hand games, you have to pay the extra cost for it to bring it up to full price. Had to be always online, and the thing could spy on you, apparently.
Yeah.
And power difference, we see the graph. The Xbox power difference was twice as much as the PS4 power usage.
Yeah.
Which means Xbox One pretty much appeared looking like a dog shit, while Sony looked like a goddamn... Stop pressing buttons on my laptop! Stop pressing buttons on my laptop, boy!
Okay.
Right.
Go down. There's a choice quote that I was looking at. Okay. So, like, it's first talking about Phil Spencer, and he came onto the stage, and there is this fantastic quote, which is just hilarious, which was, we've taken feedback and made our products better and renewed our focus on what is important to our customers. I'm like, why the fuck did you do that in the first place? Like, the Xbox One was never about what the customers wanted. It was about what Microsoft thought the customers wanted. And they fucked themselves over so badly because of that.
When you buy a console, you want a console. When you buy a TV, you want a TV. Xbox forgot this.
The problem is, like, it's like they've had an entire year. Like, they could have made those changes before the Xbox came out because they must have realized after E3, oh wait, people are not really liking this idea. We may need to make some adaptations. But they just went ahead with it, knowing that people didn't like the concept.
Yeah.
It was just so dumb.
Yeah, but this article doesn't even let Microsoft forget about their mistakes now. I mean, the last line in it, what was the last line in this article? Where was it? It wasn't the last line, sorry, but, oh, I'll talk about it when we get there anyway.
But the main thing, the big important announcement from Microsoft, which is in this article, is how they're renewing focus on games.tv is they're basically taking the Kinect out. You can now buy the Xbox One without the Kinect at the same price as the PlayStation 4. Which, okay, in theory, good concept. However, here's the problem. All of the Xbox One games have been designed around the Kinect.
Yeah.
Because the Kinect was a compulsory feature. That means all of the games that you have the Kinect, if you buy the new version, you're not going to be able to play them anywhere near as well.
Yeah, it is silly. And I'm pretty sure here, this is just something which Sony would say at the end. The Xbox starting off, you will hear much more as we head into E3, but we'll be getting an incredible new chapter for Xbox. I can't wait for days and years ahead. I'm pretty sure Sony just said this the last part. This is going to be fun.
But, I mean, like, the fact that removing the Kinect is a good concept, but it's too late.
Yeah.
Because, the Kinect is now such an important feature of the Xbox One. Without it, so many things aren't going to work.
Yeah, but I like it here. It says to sell the Xbox One without the Kinect for a cheaper price, the same as the PS4. So for the same price, you'll get a console or
Which
a TV.
Is less powerful.
Yeah, less power.
So let's remember, right? So removing the Kinect, a massively important part of the system. B, the Xbox One is a less powerful system than the
Which
PlayStation.
uses more power.
So you're basically buying half a console, which is less powerful, for the same price as a console, which is the entire console, and much more powerful.
Plus, I haven't heard their idea of changing game sharing or the second-hand problem.
Yeah.
It's like they just haven't thought this properly through. I mean, this Phil Spencer guy's making a hell of a lot of progress, but not fast enough. He's not doing it. I mean, the fastest he's going to do is maybe stop it from losing everything.
Yeah.
And losing all
The main problem is, I was talking to my sister yesterday, and I was talking about how, the problem is Microsoft has spent the last year backtracking because of all of their screw-ups last year, whereas Nintendo, and Sony are moving forward. They haven't spent an entire year backtracking, and they've been moving forward. And now we have announcements like PlayStation TV, PlayStation Now, and fucking Project Morpheus.
Yeah, as Microsoft tried to cure the mistake, PS4 is just putting them more and more into it.
Yeah, just moving
pushing them
forward.
into it, so they're not going to get their thing back.
Yeah, there's no way Microsoft can catch up with this.
I like how they're still stubborn and they're still the best console, though. We had 3 objectives in this presentation about E3. The first was to demonstrate unequivocally that Xbox is the best place to play games. How? They just moved the Kinect, which most of their games are based on.
Yeah. Well, no, I think the games can be played without the Kinect, but it's still
It's not going to be much good.
It's still a massive aspect of it.
And they're instantly diving back to the common old poster boys for their console, trying to save themselves. Halo, Fable, Forza.
Yeah.
And they're bringing a new one in Sunset Overdrive, which is the only decent looking game right now I'm seeing on there, other than Titanfall and Dead Rising 3, which I'm quite liking the look of, but...
And, here's another hilarious thing. If you look at the exclusives they've got, they're all existing IPs.
Yeah.
Sony are releasing new IPs.
Giving them more ground to play on.
Yeah.
Basically, Sony just increasing their playground.
Microsoft are still sticking to their default Halo, Forza, Fable.
Forza, well.
Forza. But they're still sticking to their defaults. Where Sony and Nintendo, even Nintendo is pushing forward with new ideas. They don't fucking do that.
Oh, it is. I mean, Nintendo finally seem to have learned from something. Sonic and Mario are not going to save them forever.
But yeah, even Nintendo are pushing forward, where Microsoft are now stuck.
is hilarious. All Microsoft have done to increase their chances of getting more and more gaming into it is Sunset Overdrive, which looks like a one-time game, which is going to be come and gone.
Yeah, but that, like, by the time that actually comes out, is it even going to still be Xbox exclusive? Because in the last couple of months, there have been 3 major titles that were going to be announced on both platforms, and then the company turned around and said, actually, we're PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Yeah, no, this console is Microsoft-based only, apparently.
Which ones was it? It was it called Murder or something?
Oh, Murdered Soul Suspect.
Yeah, that was going to be on both, but then they turned around and said, actually, we're going with PlayStation.
It still is on Xbox. I've seen a few games for it around, but quite frankly, it seems to be doing better on PlayStation because they've either made better graphics for that, because it's given them more things to play with. They're basically loving Sony right now. I mean, what else have just jumped onto this? What have Sony made, which is brand new IPs, rather than just what Xbox has done?
There hasn't. I don't think there's been that many brand new IPs, but
they're doing more than the everyone else.
Still, like, have you heard of the Infamous IP?
Oh
Which is one of the largest Sony IPs. But unlike Halo, you don't get a game every year. You get a Infamous game like once or twice a generation. So like, the problem is, like at Microsoft, there are big IPs that come out so regularly that there's nothing unique about them. You hear a Halo game, it's like, oh cool, a Halo game. But I was expecting it. Whereas you hear a new Infamous game, nobody was expecting a new Infamous game. Like, Second Son came out of fucking nowhere.
Which is gonna lead us on to our favourite part in a bit, which is quite awesome.
Like, nobody was expecting Second Son because of how the second game ended. Like, it didn't really leave that much room for like a continuation of the series. This is the problem, like, because Microsoft have all these IPs, but they release them so regularly that they're no longer unique.
Yeah, I mean,
they basically have Nintendo syndrome.
I mean, we all remember how Halo started, don't we? First time Halo game came out, instant success and fame for ages.
Yeah.
The game was on top of the charts for 8 months or so in a row. Halo 2 came out about a year later. I noticed an instant, oh dear, is this going where I think it's going? Halo 3 on the next console, Halo 4, Halo 5, it's like, hey, here we go. Halo Reach, ODST, Halo Wars, the Halo Legends movie, and the new one, which is real time.
The other thing with the other thing is, like, it's not just the fact that Sony aren't always getting like the new IPs, but because they don't release them so often, they're reselling series that
which would destroy
series that we almost forgot about. Like, they've admittedly I don't like the new Tomb Raider, but they've relaunched that series and they're about to make a new game for that, which looks pretty cool.
I think it was mainly the Tomb Raider.
They've already announced that they're resetting the Spyro series to what it used to be.
Yeah, that is what I'm looking forward to right now, other than the obvious, which we're going to do in a minute. But Tomb Raider, the new one, that wasn't so bad. It wasn't Tomb Raider.
It's just not what I see as a Tomb Raider.
It was Lara Croft. Mainly, it should have been the origins of her, not called Tomb Raider.
No, I'm not going to say that's an argument. Like, anybody who claims that game is about the origins of how she became a Tomb Raider is bullshit. Because if you played a Tomb Raider 4 and Tomb Raider 5, she was fucking raiding tombs when she was 8 years old.
Yeah, that was a moment of my another fact I liked about Tomb Raider. So I liked so much about Tomb Raider, the new one. She's talking to her father when she's about 16. Her father died when she was 8, was it not? In a pyramid which she trapped him or something like that? Or was she a bit older? Because in Tomb Raider Revelation, you see her father get trapped in a pyramid
That's
stuff.
not her father.
Wasn't that her father? I thought that was her father.
Her father's dead by that point, and Victor Von Croy is teaching her how to play tombs like her father. He was a friend of her father's.
Oh, so her father was dead even before then?
Yeah, her parents died, like, in the original Tomb Raider, her parents died when she's like 5?
Oh, that's even more music, because then she's talking to her father about the age of 16.
She's 10 years old in Revelations, right? And that's after her father dies. Her mother dies, I think, when she's about 6 in the original series. Because it's that whole Atlantis arc that was, the last 3 games. and her father like goes missing. It's never really explained what happens to him. But he goes missing when she's 8 because there's a game called Did you ever play Chronicles?
Yeah.
Chronicles. One of the sections of Chronicles is when she's 8 years old, and it's like the scariest fucking level because it's like really scary. Like I played it when I was like 10, so to me it was fucking terrifying. And basically, her father's gone missing, and she's looking for her father in this really scary fucking place. And she's meant to be 8. And then, revelation, she's 10 working with Voltron.
Yeah. But either way, that makes it more funny because in the game you hear her talking to her father, as she calls him, with the voice of a 16-year-old. Now, either she was a very fucking mature 5-year-old, or the game fucked up.
Really don't work. Like, as I said, like I will admit the new game was good, but in my mind it cannot be connected to 2.0.
Yeah.
But but the main point is, because these games don't come out so that often, Sony has the chance to reset them. Whereas Microsoft don't have that opportunity.
Yeah, Microsoft have pretty much backed themselves into a corner and now relying. They're going to be relying on Nintendo tactics, which did Nintendo poorly.
Nintendo were smarter than that because of Mario until Generations, which was like not Generations, until Galaxy, there was only one Mario game for each generation. Like you had all the side games, right? But until Galaxy 2, there was only ever one major Mario game per generation.
Yeah.
And so even Nintendo were playing it smarter. So you're just reading the rest of this article?
Yeah, going for anything which might want to be talked about, because they're still planning on keeping Connect alive, although most people believe it's going to be a dead platform if they're not careful, but seems pretty much like they're screwed themselves over with it.
Yeah. And, the problem is at this point, the Project Morpheus being announced, the Kinect's going to be made redundant.
Yeah. Right, I think we've done everything we can talk about other than,
Okay,
right.
On
to games which...
Okay, let's just say that me and James have been looking forward to this game for about 5 years. It's our Half-Life 2. Half-Life 3.
And it connects what we just talked about games, what you didn't expect to come back, just popping back up out of nowhere and making every fan in the world happy.
Okay, so...
Right.
Kingdom Hearts 2.5 remix was announced. Now last year, the 1.5 remix came out, which was basically in Japan there was a Kingdom Hearts game, which was Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, and 2, all in one giant game.
Where people filled all plot holes in one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but with 2.5 remix, which they're releasing towards the end of this year, it's going to be on the PS3 platform. They haven't announced it for PS4, but there's still time. It's going to... There's a trailer available on YouTube if you want to watch it. It's Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, Chain of Memories, and Birth by Sleep.
And more, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think it has the...
365.
It might have 365, but it also has...
I noticed hints of it from there.
It also has bonus content.
I noticed hints of it from there as well.
It also has bonus content that weren't in any of the previous games.
That does seem like the best shit ever.
Yeah, 2.5 Remix basically has all of the Kingdom Hearts games put into one massive game.
What's this 5th of December 2014? Is that when it's meant to be coming out?
That's when it's meant to be coming out.
Oh, well, you're buying it. I'm coming down to your fucking house to play that shit. You might need... Oh, yeah, it might be on PS3. Can't Sony PS4 now play PS3 games?
Oh, yeah.
Ah, shit. Shit.
Okay, and the other big announcement was at the end of the 2.5 trailer, they hinted at KH3.
Yeah. This looks like it might be a lovely few years.
Yeah, the 2.5 remix really just blew me away.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer I noticed filled in all the plot. I got confused. I was gonna fill them in anyway if I connect them all, but it also added in part which left me confused at the end, like Birth by Sleep. Okay, one of the main characters has just been trapped by the bad guy and had been taken control of. The girl just sacrificed herself to save him. Why has he not been saved? Which confused me a hell of a lot.
But yeah, Birth by Sleep, which, that was never in the original Japanese massive game. So that's really interesting. And plus, they're adding extra content.
I think it was meant to be a good game. It was meant to be plots.
Giant fucking game, though, when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're combining all games, every part into it, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 1 took me good 5 hours to complete the first time, maybe 6 hours. Second game, about 5 to 7 hours again. Birth by Sleep, I've given up on because the boss is so damn ridiculous. It pretty much looks like Sephiroth from Kingdom Hearts 2. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 1 I haven't beat. I got that close. You were there. Yeah, it ended a big strategy of them shouting out heal, attack, dodge, while I was doing all this trying to survive like mad. How long did it last? About an hour and 20 minutes before I finally got hit by his blade, just spinning at the back of it. Like, oh, brilliant.
So yeah, that's a huge announcement. Because, I gave the Half-Life 3 analogy, but that's basically what Kingdom Hearts 3 is for, like, the role-play genre of games.
We never expected it to happen, but here we go.
You never really expected it to happen, but, they've been hinting it for ages, and then suddenly we're actually doing it.
The day Half-Life 3 comes out, though, I'm going to, I guess announced, I'm going to build a nuclear bunker underground to prepare for the apocalypse. You can join me, and if Half-Life 3 comes out, we'll play it during the apocalypse.
So yeah, that was.
I think that's everything.
Well, there is one little thing that I found hilarious.
Video games, the movie.
There is a video game, the movie coming out, made by Zach Braff, who is the guy who played JD in Scrubs.
How did he make it?
He's a producer.
Wow.
And there's an interview with Will Wheaton, the guy who played what's his name? Crush. I know his last name's Crusher. I'm a Star Trek fan. I can't remember what the fuck his name is.
You sick bastard.
Whatever. Play Ensign Crusher in Star Trek Next Generation. But yeah, it's basically about how the cultural impact of video games, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
There is a trailer for that.
Right, I think that's anything. Oh.
Sorry. One last thing. There was a lot of argument, like how much the PlayStation Now would cost.
Yeah.
Like where you can rent PlayStation 3 games and play them on your PlayStation TV. It's now been announced that the rental will be anything between $299 and $19.99.
So it'd be cheaper in England then in that case.
Yeah.
So, if you're Brits like us, we're going to be rolling in this shit when I finally get a PS4.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the big E3 announcements of this year.
We're not going to be talking about...
Really watch E3, did you?
No, I didn't watch much of E3, I just heard about the most important parts of it and that was it. I'd laughed at Microsoft failing miserably. Which everyone has to do, I believe, in my opinion.
So, we ending this episode here?
Yeah, no point to talk about anime and stuff, because we're already over an hour.
Yeah, I mean, we could have like a quick half-hour episode just to cover anime and keep this as a new special.
Maybe I want to do a little bit more research, because there's actually quite a hell of a lot of animes to talk about this time. We could do an anime special next time as well, because I got like 20 animes to talk to.
We're coming up next Wednesday anyway, aren't we?
Wait, what?
Wednesday.
When was this arranged?
The barbecue.
Oh, right. Yes. Barbecue.
D&D barbecue.
We have to fancy dress as D&D. What do you have to dress as? Oh yeah, Goblin King Arnie.
Oh god, that's gonna be so
He's got dressed as a 7 foot green goblin giant with a 12 pack.
12 pack, yeah.
And he's also got big arms and muscles and weaponry. And he's going to be doing a barbecue in this. Yeah. I've got to come as a hobbit. A paladin hobbit. Charlie, if he doesn't get his character killed before then, is coming as a druid, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's still alive as a druid, isn't he?
Yep.
And Josh will be Josh, the only remaining original character, and it will be coming in as his character, Zanhorn, the village burning red mage. Yeah,
that's going to be a fun barbecue.
Of course, he'll be doing the barbecue. He got to come with a flamethrower. He would just be like, I'm going to cast flame everywhere.
Yeah, well, thanks for listening. As always, I am William Lawrence.
And I'm James Fish. Holy shit, you didn't say I've been William Lawrence.
I have been, and forever will be, William Lawrence.
And I have been a cod on a plate.
And good luck.
You're going to need it when Kingdom Hearts comes out.